Let's please welcome Stephanie Mikos.
Wow. Hey, everybody. So I've lived in DC for about 17 years now, and we have a lot of Type A people here. But in DC, Type A doesn't just mean like, I'm a partner at a law firm. It really means I'm a partner at a law firm that runs a nonprofit on the weekends and then does triathlons for shits and giggles on Saturday and Sunday. It's always a lot of fun to live here. I would consider myself more of like a type maybe C. I'd even maybe put myself into a D category. I don't like to do things like wake up before noon or show up anywhere on time or just be sober in general. So that kind of puts me down a little bit. But what I do like to do, and don't be surprised because I'm in between jobs right now, I like to attend networking events in the afternoon, otherwise known as happy hour. So I spent a little time at happy hour and, that famous DC question, so what do you do? Who do you work for? Sometimes I'll just fuck with somebody right off the bat and say, well, I'm a stay-at-home dog, Mom. Other times I'll come right out and just say, well, I work in the beverage industry. Oh, really? The beverage industry? Who do you represent? Represent a lot of different brands, mostly Napa cabs. Those are my favorites. Sometimes when it's really, really hot out, I'll have a white wine. Oh, so are you a lobbyist or a consultant? No, actually, I'm a functioning alcoholic, which is why I'm here at this happy hour talking to you. And as soon as they figure that out, there's really nothing they're going to get out of me, or there's really nowhere they're going to go. You can see them doing they're looking over your shoulder like, is there anybody else in the room that might have something? Oh. And I'm like, hey! So as soon as they think that they're going to go get a drink and escape my clutches, they're not. Because that's when the real fun begins. I like to follow them everywhere they go, like, really? I wanted to have a drink too. And then I introduce myself. And then I say, oh, are you hungry? I'm really hungry too. So while I'm in between jobs and, napping and being hungover, I've been reading some self-help books. The first one that I read, The 4-Hour Work Week, was it was a little ambitious for me. I had to put that down. And then I whipped out the 2-Hour Work Week. I couldn't find it. And so then I decided to read that management book, Who Moved My Cheese? Which then made me think about wine. And then it made me think about my Ambien that I like to wash down with a bottle of wine every night after work. And while I'm sure a lot of people have exciting or maybe interesting, crazy Ambien stories, I become like this uber nice zombie who wants to change the world and save everything. So on the bottle of Ambien, they should probably write do not use electronics, go to bed, don't wander outside of your apartment, don't call people, and don't text, because scrolling up the next day is always going to be really embarrassing. But I've done a couple things, and I find out the crazy things I do on Ambien, like make a meal for 10 out of Easy Mac and whatever else is left in your grocery. I had this weird fear of the UPS man now, because God only knows what I have ordered. So if I'm lucky, it's going to say Zappos, which means I can return it. If I'm not, there's going to be holes on the top of it, and it could be like a pet or a reptile. I've applied to be a foster parent a few times. I've been rejected. I actually only know that because they send me the letter that says, thank you so much for applying, but drinking wine is not an occupation. So one day I get this knock on my door, and it's this young kid, and he's got a backpack on, and he's like, hey, I'm Zach. I met you in a chat room last night, and you said that I could come and live at your house as long as I called you Mommy. I thought, all right, I didn't think it could get any worse than that until a few days later, this 45-year-old man knocks on my door in a Cub Scout uniform. And he's like, I open the door and I'm thinking, what in the hell's going on? And he's like, winemommy.com, who's ready to earn a merit badge? Did you guys know there's a merit badge for anal? I didn't. He told me about that. Just want to transition really quickly to my parents are here tonight. They're super proud. Super proud. My mom's on a mission, and her mission is to have a grandchild. So she will shamelessly try to set me up with anybody that she comes in contact with that she thinks could be a possible grandparent helper. So a couple months ago, I throw my back out. How I did it's not important. My parents come to my house, and I'm laying flat on the ground, and my mom's like, what are we going to do? And my dad's like, I don't know. I think we should call 911. And so my mom says, well, how long does it take for him to get here? Because she looks awful. We got to fix this. This is going to be the most men that's been in her apartment since we've known her. So they call 911. The firemen come, the EMTs come, everybody's there. I'm laying on the ground, and they rush in, and they come down, and they're, how did this happen? And my mom's like, well, the first marriage didn't work out so well because he was a real ass. Then she dated one guy who was just no good, and they're like, no, how did this happen? Well, I think she was actually coming home from the gym. She normally doesn't look like this. There's no makeup on. She hasn't brushed her hair. So that's kind of, you guys, seriously, she cleans up a lot better than that. So then the other guy says, no, really, how did the back injury happen? And she goes, I don't know, but I'd like to know if anyone else here is, any of you guys single? Because she is still single, and she cleans up really good. So it turns out that they're all married with kids. I can't even speak for myself at this point because I'm laying on the ground. And so my mom is sitting in the back of the ambulance, and she kind of takes a minute to lean over, and she looks at me real serious, and she's like, the divorce rate is pretty high. You got about a 50-50 shot here with one of these guys, and don't mess it up. That's all I got. Thanks so much.
Nice job, Stephanie Mikos. Yes. Stephanie Mikos taking everybody's dream job.